Welcome to Brain Vision.
We know that power is given by square of the voltage over resistance. And since over here, for each combination, the voltage V is constant, this means that power is inversely proportional to resistance. This means that for the 50-watt output, the resistance will be higher. For the 100-watt output, we use the lower resistance filament, and so let me just write it. So 50 watt, 100 watt, and 150 watt. So these are the powers in ascending order. So on the other side, our resistance should be descending because these two are inversely proportional. So if power is increasing, the resistance should decrease. So for the minimum power, we should have the maximum resistance. So we use higher resistance filament. And so for the 100 watt, we will use lower resistance filament. And for 150 watt, we will use these two filaments in parallel. We know that if two resistors are in parallel, then the equivalent resistance will be lower than those two resistances that are connected in parallel. So this resistance, the equivalent resistance of these two filaments in parallel will be lower than these two. So it should be low. It's lower than the higher resistance, obviously, and it will also be lower than the lower resistance. So overall, this resistance will be the lowest among the three. And so our track is fine. The power is increasing and resistance is decreasing. So everything makes sense. Now, for the second part, part B, we will use the same formula to find the resistance. This means that radius of 50 watt will be 120 volt over 50 watt. The voltage is same, and that is, okay, let me just use this here. So, or we can write it here because the voltage is constant. So, the voltage is 120 volt, and we are plugging that value over here, and we are getting the resistance for the 50 watt to be equal to 288 ohms. So this is the higher resistance filament. Similarly, the lower resistance filament will be voltage over 100 watt, and that is equal to, oops, I forgot to set the square, but the answer is correct. And this is equal to 144 ohm. Now for the third part, where we have to find the resistance of the 150 watt power, so that will be equal to parallel, the equivalent resistance for the parallel combination of these two resistances, because we are connecting the filaments in parallel for this power. So this will be equal to R 50 watt times R 100 watt over R 50 watt plus R 100 watt. And plugging these two values in this equation, we get this value to be equal to 96 ohm. And if you find the power for this resistance, for the parallel resistance, by using this formula. So this is the value, plug this value over here and plug the value of voltage that's given, you'll find the power to be 150 watt. So this makes sense.